Hello, Red Guides. It's Wednesday, October 31st, 2018. Happy Halloween. How's everyone doing today? This is a few minutes with Maskoi, and we're going to discuss a couple things today. First is the latest patch, and also the video or podcast that Daybreak put out on the new expansion, the Burning Lands. And also, lastly, I'll touch on some of the new features that are coming out in KISS 11, with the beta, the final beta, coming out tomorrow, or today actually, and then the official release coming out this weekend. So stay tuned and we'll get right to it. So, last Wednesday's patch. Not good. Around this time that the new expansions comes out, Daybreak sometimes puts in a lot of new code that we're not aware of. And there were some struct changes, and this was causing a lot of people to crash using MQ2 Melee and IS Boxer. After a long weekend for EQ Mule, he finally tracked down the culprits and fixed them. So if you're still experiencing crashes, make sure to run the updater. I personally like to go into my MacroQuest release folder and delete all the files that end in DLL and then run the updater just to make sure that everything was cleaned out and now it's back. So if you haven't run the updater since Monday, I think it was released, then make sure you get in there and update all your files, and you shouldn't have any problems. If you experience any crashes after updating, please let us know in the forums and we will look into it. Thanks. So Daybreak put out a podcast today about the new expansion, the Burning Lands. You can get into the beta by buying a pre-release. I have to say it was a little underwhelming. It's the people in it in the first segment. They all seemed like they were about 3 years old when EverQuest actually came out. Jonathan there on the left hardly even engages the camera. Kind of looks like he's doing his taxes or posting on Reddit or something during the entire thing. He does not look very enthused to even be there. The community leader, she seemed a little unprepared, and they all seemed a little unprepared. They're just kind of all reading from their phones. And then finally, when they got into the whole thing, they're all just kind of running around and dying, and there would seem to be no order or script, or like they just kind of went there and said, okay, here's a new expansion in beta, try it, blah, blah, blah. But I do like what I saw of the new expansion. It's a little refreshing to finally see something that isn't an entirely rehash of a zone or an entire expansion like EOK and ROS was. So the idea of the new expansion is that some of the races in the Plains of Power are at war. I believe it's the Jinn and the Ifrits, and you have to stop them. So that sounds kind of interesting. I'm going to watch it again, and I'll have another video on the whole expansion. I'm not sure if I'm going to try the beta or not, but we'll see. But of the things I saw in the video, I am definitely looking forward to the new expansion, just on the graphics and the plot behind it, the storyline. It's a little more exciting than the last two, so there's that. Whether it's actually good or not, we'll have to wait to hear from some more people in beta. And if you want to watch the video, if you haven't seen it before, the link is down in the description of the video here, and you can check that out and give me your opinion in the comments. Thanks. So, the final beta of KISS 11 will be coming out tomorrow, and that'll give us a few days to test the last changes before the official release this weekend. And just to touch on a couple of the things that have been improved or added is melee types, especially berserkers, now are fantastic. There were many problems in KISS 10 that just prevented berserkers, monks, and rogues from using a lot of their disc and combat abilities, and we fixed all those, so now they're screaming. The DPS parser is super accurate now and was rewritten and very fast. So some of the problems where we found the events weren't correct or it wasn't catching all of the damage, have been fixed, and we've updated it with the latest changes to the messages that Daybreak's made in the last couple months. So check that out. And of course, I know the one thing everyone's going to miss is the sit and stand dance that everyone who's ever used KISS has experienced at some point. Finally been eliminated. It's gone. One of the things that was just fixed is coming out with tomorrow's beta is Chase with MQ2 Nav has been revamped. I'm not even sure how people were able to play with it, to tell you the truth, but now you can run all over the place, and we've put in a lot of logic to keep people from standing around while they're trying to cast spells or med and keep up with the tank. We'll put in some further enhancements maybe later in the month after the official release, but right now it is pretty solid, so we're happy about that. Of course, the big thing is, we took out MQ2 Cast. One of the main problems was KISS was with healers. They were maybe 1 to 2 seconds too slow on casting, and it just, people died. So by replacing MQ2 Cast with all macro commands, we've greatly increased the speed and response of casting. So now healers, chamois, druids, they heal amazing. It's one of the first things that everyone noticed in the early editions of the beta. Also now, commands and conditions have been completely rewritten. They've been simplified to make things a lot easier. Anything previous in 10, the conditions are in a different format now, so they are not supported. You have to use the the conversion macro to convert any KISS 10 conditions file to the KISS 11 format, and that's available under the KISS 11 forum post, so you can check that out if you need it. It will be included in the compile from now on, starting with the next one. Also, we have directional pulling now, which allows you to pull in specific arcs. So if you're up against a wall and you don't want to pull anything behind you, you can, say, pull in an arc of 180 degrees, which would be a half circle in front of you. So KISS won't even look for anything outside that arc, so that's kind of cool, and it's really easy to use. You can make a hotkey to start it up. And that's about it. I will be making an entirely new video with the KISS preview, and it'll touch on all the features like I always do. But just wanted to go through some of them that will be coming up this weekend on the official release of KISS 11. So look forward to that. Everyone have a great evening, and check out all the stuff in the description below for links that I mentioned earlier in the video. Thanks.